Hello to our YouTube subscribers. We are live on YouTube to talk about reducing waste at the Zero Waste Forum. What are we doing to reduce waste, Teresa?
What is the Zero Waste Forum, Hayden?
The Zero Waste Forum is our annual flagship event where we bring together local, national, and international folks to talk about reducing waste and best ways to do it. And this year, we're going to be in Park City, Utah. Hopefully, if you're one of our subscribers, you've seen that already with the amount that we've been talking about it on social media. But today we want to talk specifically about reducing waste at the forum because Race to Zero Waste doesn't just talk about zero waste. We walk the walk. We put sustainability in action. That's what we do. And so we're doing that at the Zero Waste Forum and at any event that we put on. We are super conscious of how we're reducing waste. And that starts with choosing the venue and choosing the caterer. So let's start there.
Yeah. Whoosh. It can be a lot of work, but because Hayden mentioned we are committed to doing that, first of all, in order to make this successful for people and to also reduce greenhouse gas emissions, the program for April 22nd, which is Earth Day, we're excited. We're going to host our event on Earth Day, Earth Week, Earth Month, right? April 22nd and 23rd. It's hybrid, so it's online and in person. And on top of that, we're working with the city of Park City. They have sponsored this amazing venue, which is actually at a library in Park City, but on the third floor, they have what's called the Jim Santee Auditorium. And the auditoriums where many like Sundance film festivals are held. So everything is built into that auditorium, like the Zoom, the lighting, they have like state-of-the-art stuff. So we're really thrilled that we're able to make our event hybrid through that process. And we're also working with the catering company that's actually in the library as well. They're called Lucky Ones, and they work with folks that are mentally challenged folks that are going to be helping us with the catering. So we're really excited to be supporting their mission and their effort. And on top of that, part of what we're doing is reducing waste in terms of the food serviceware items that will be there. Everything from using we're looking at reusable plates that will be stainless steel, our signature Race to Zero Waste cups. So when people grab their
You have
lemonade,
one, right?
extra water. I know, I don't know if you can see, but you can kind of see it right there. Kind of back up a bit. Our signature cups there. Clean Canteens are one of our official sponsors and partners since the inception of Race to Zero Waste. And then everything from the cloth napkins. One of the cool things that we're going to be working on in terms of the coffee is we're going to be doing like a mug swap. So someone's going to be sponsoring a bunch of the mugs, and then people can take those with them. We'll work with like a local nonprofit to get some of those mugs in. And then at the end, they can, like I said, take those mugs. They can also bring a mug in. We're encouraging folks to bring. I mean, I feel like most of us or many of us have additional or extra coffee mugs just sitting around. So those can be donated and it's like a little keepsake from the forum as well. And so I think that that's going to be a fun little addition that will happen at the Zero Waste Expo. That's on April 21st. And though one other thing we're working with the catering company on is like we're getting them some items that they can use like year round to reduce waste for dine-in operations. So right now they currently like if you get a sandwich or something, they put it in like this big plastic clamshell or just a big box. And so in effort to reduce that, we're going to be working with them to get some like stainless steel items that they can like put sandwiches in and stuff like that. And then of course the
That's really
forks and
exciting. So
everything.
it's not just that we're reducing waste for our event, we're like making a long-term impact.
Yeah, exactly. And then another cool thing that's happening is there's a company called Wrinkle Composting, and they're going to be sponsoring 4 in-house units. It's like a $2,000 value. So you can imagine these units are they're about 13 gallons. You could put them in your house, and it's a aerobic process. And so they use worms, but the process can happen like in real time. So it's all like in vessel. So you can put all your food scraps in there, even some like cheeses and meat, some bones and things. There's some things you can't put in it, but they pretty much take everything. And so we're going to be raffling off four of these at the Zero Waste Forum. So yeah, check out Wrinkle Home Composting. It's REENCL. And they're also going to be talking at the forum about their process because they're working with universities across the United States on a commercial level, commercial basis to do like a similar system, but on like a bigger scale, right? So we're going to have the home composters, then we're going to have the um they're going to be talking about the bigger ones. Looks like you're going to be there. You go, sharing the screen here.
Yeah, this is the wrinkle. So as Teresa mentioned, it's spelled maybe somehow a way that you might not expect because I have a Spanish background. When I first saw it, I said re ankle, rencle. I wasn't sure how to pronounce it, but yes, wrinkle. And their composters do look really cool. So yeah, definitely encourage the audience to check them out and sign me up for that raffle. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're gonna have those, a couple of those stationed. They're gonna have a representative come because part of what we do too at our expo is like table, learn about like, reducing waste, plastic free, living, those type of things. And so Wrinkle will be there to also like at the forum, if someone doesn't eat all of their sandwich, right? During lunch, they can actually put it into one of these Wrinkle home composting units. And then by the end of the day, like before people leave, we can look in there and everything should be broken down. That's what I've been told. So it's this really great technology. So
So
excited
fast.
to, yeah, so fast. Real time, tangible, right?
Yeah, seems like it could be useful for even apartment buildings, which is where I live, for example.
Exactly.
That's
I'm
cool. So
trying to
that's
think
the
of like,
food
there's
waste
just so many
side,
things.
the catering and the food waste side. But we don't just think about waste from those perspectives. We think about the name tags too. So anything that a conference might need. So I know that in some places there are like goodie bags and things like that. We don't just do giveaways for the sake of giveaways. We want to be super conscious of not sending junk home with people that they're just going to eventually throw away. Like we're not trying to send plastic, little plastic toys or whatever to landfill. So, I know that we're working on the name tags. So, what are we thinking for name tags, Teresa?
Yeah, there's been a lot of things floating around. Our backup plan for the name tags is we have someone who works with Race to Zero Waste, and she has name tags that are over 30 years old. They are plastic, so
The
those
little
are the ones
sleeves,
that,
right? For the to put the paper
yeah,
in.
exactly. They're just pretty standard, but they're pre-loved, right? They've been used over and over again. So we have that, but we're also looking at there's someone from Park City who's looking at a company called Alpine Distillery, and they make whiskey and they have old barrels. And so an idea is how can we work with a local artist to create little name tags or name badges that will be, repurposed into something like that.
Hmm.
Um, there was also talk of, do you remember the one that Jill mentioned? So basically it's like it would be like or it would be vertical and then they would be long. And then there's another event that's taking place. It's the Intermountain Sustainability Summit. So they're gonna have all these leftover lanyards. So the idea would be Race to Zero Waste to intercept those, to use those like at the forum. And then we want to create, if we do create and work with a local artist, to have these name badges where people can use like a Sharpie or something and wipe them off and they can just be used, over and over again. So there's a couple ideas that we have that are taking place. Um,
We'll see
but
what
yeah.
happens come April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd to see what ends
Yeah.
up happening with the name tags. But that's just another thing that we're being conscious of, right? And then we want to talk about the Zero Waste Expo. So this is a way to get the community together and to be like active, hands-on in zero waste. So what's going on with the expo? I heard something about microplastics.
Yeah, so the expo we're excited about, it's between 5 and 8 p.m. at the Park City Library. So if there's anyone local, please come out. We already have about 30 people signed up for it. So that's great. We can have a lot more than 30 people. But the idea of the expo is that again, we'll have different businesses that'll highlight, what they can showcase in terms of plastic-free living or, composting solutions and things of that nature. So we'll have about 15 vendors. They'll be at the expo. But on top of that, with our commitment to youth engagement, we decided to bring in the youth to actually organize 3 different workshops. So one workshop, which I think is going to be super fun, is the Toxic Free Wellness Workshop. So Dana Grinnell from the Free Living Co. is going to be spearheading that effort. So she's going to talk about the toxins that are in skincare products. I have an 8-year-old daughter and she's like, are you talking about skincare? I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about this. But so I feel like the marketing, everything's really pushing kids to use skincare like earlier, but we know there's microplastics and beads. So she is going to take it a step further to show like making a sugar scrub, or like a scrub out of sugar, just some handy, quick ways that people can use things like or purchase things to make their own toxic free, skincare routine products. They do everything at the Free Living Co., like, lip stuff, facial stuff. So we're really excited about that. And then we are going to have a microplastic scientist, Dr. Sammy Romanek will be there. Yeah. So she's going to be talking about like microplastics in the brain. It's like, whoosh, right? So yes, unfortunately, that is what we're
And
dealing
she's
with right
bringing a
now.
microscope.
She's bringing a microscope. Yeah, she has a table. She's going to have everything set up. She's even taking a step further because we're going to be Park City. If there is snow, there should still be snow. She's going to be taking samples with some youth-led advocates to also look at the nanoplastics that are in the snow. So, and then present that at the forum. And then the other thing we're going to be doing is a little mini repair demo. So mending, that'll be going on for about an hour. So I have 2 pairs of pants right now and I'm sitting out. One pair has like, they're just like workout, stretch pants, whatever. There's like 4 or 5 holes, and I'm like looking, I'm like, oh, these are probably. I'm like, no, I think I want to mend these. I know how to do it. And then my daughter has this little like hole like in her in a pair of pants. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. So I think it's just like being committed to that. But not
Mm-hmm.
everyone knows how to mend, right? Just like simple needle and thread, that type of stuff. So I think the person who's going to be in charge of that will be taking us through the process. So that's really the expo kind of kickoff. People can on April 21st get their name tags, grab a slice of pizza. One of the things we're working with I think it's called Este Pizza is they're committed to making it zero waste. So they're actually looking into getting these reusable I guess boxes or to put the pizza in. So we're all like, no one really knows what that's gonna look like. There is a plastic one that's out there, but they're really looking at, is there something that's more, durable, like use over and over again. So they're actually thinking maybe changing their process because of the form. So it goes back to what you were saying, Hayden, like it's not just an event that's happening. We want to like really make an impact in Park City and help businesses out to reduce waste as well.
Yeah, to make that
Yeah,
long-term change for the community, for sure.
correct. Yeah.
And like pizza boxes, that's a great waste stream to reduce. Like, why is
Yeah.
this not more obvious and, nationwide or worldwide? Like, people love pizza, and it's not like it's hard to put pizza in a box and then give the pizza box back, right? Those
Yeah,
return
because like
logistics
for
are
me
where
in
it's
my
at.
community, yeah, for me in my community, it's like 4th Street Pizza up the street. Like that's where we get pizza from. And I feel like people kind of have their own little neighborhood spot, if you will. And
Mm-hmm.
so why not just close the loop and you're going there anyways to get pizza, bring the old box or bring the reusable container back and they can use it for someone else and then you get a new one, a one that's clean and sanitized and just keep the system going. So I think it's pretty simple, but I
Hopefully
don't
it stays in place.
know.
Yeah, hopefully we get that implemented and, do like the pilot with the Zero Waste Forum and then it stays in place for the future. So that's the impact that the Zero Waste Forum, that we want to have with the Zero Waste Forum is not just, creating this event as zero waste, but really bringing it to the community. So improving composting infrastructure, improving reuse systems with the different businesses that we're working with, among other things. So that's really exciting. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about with reducing waste is the Sustainability in Action Awards. So I know that we're working on creating these awards to recognize people for the work that they're doing in zero waste. But of course, yet again, we don't want to just send someone home with a piece of trash. We're trying to have something reclaimed or repurposed or recycled that we can present to these awardees. So what's going on with the awards?
That is, yeah, the awards, that's another big one. It can be a big waste generator. And we're working with a company based out of Colorado called Techwares. And what they do is they even have, when we talk about swag, you mentioned at the beginning of this, it's like they have even like keychains they can make and, you know, all kinds of stuff. But they're going to be making our awards and they are made out of like old face shields and circuit boards and e-waste is a big part of our waste stream, like, you know, globally. And I feel like people don't really talk too much about it, but a lot of people are like, what do I do with it? And so that's really, I actually have a couple awards that are made out of it. So they're really lightweight, they travel well, and we're really excited to partner with Techwares to create our Sustainability in Action Awards this year.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to see what those end up looking like as well. And so just another aspect of, reducing waste, figuring out the best ways to do things that we might be used to at a conference, but in a sustainable way, in a different way. Let's see, is there anything else that we haven't talked about yet? We've talked about the catering, we've talked about the venue, we've talked about Wrinkle, we've talked about the awards. Is there anything else that I missed, Teresa, of how we're making the Zero Waste
Hmm.
Forum zero waste?
Whoosh. Yeah.
I mean, there are a
And I
couple of
think that
basic things like we're working when we do like advertising and things like that, we're being really conscious of are we going to print a couple of posters and where are we going to put them super strategically? We're trying to do a lot of digital advertising and marketing rather than paper, just because we want to save paper because that's part of zero waste as well.
yeah, the one thing that we are doing, which is unique, um, is because we've created such a great partnership with the city and with the Park City Community Foundation and other groups. Recycle Utah is another one. Is that we are going to be, yes, we're going to be shipping it, but it'll go a couple states over. But we have our vertical standing banner, excuse me, that has a QR code. It says Zero Waste Forum, so it's going to travel within the library, another community space, and eventually to the Intermountain Sustainability Summit, which is another big conference that has like a couple hundred people. So that will be set up there. So that's just another way that we're just trying to cut back on paper waste. And so it's really lightweight. It's aluminum framed, and they can just like pick it up, kind of carry it to another location. So that should be going into the mail sometime this week. So.
Yes, that banner. Okay, that's a great way that we got that banner last year, and on purpose, we designed it to be evergreen so that we could use it year on year and not have to get a new standing banner or that kind of backdrop situation kind of stuff in future years. So we had that one last year in Hollywood, Florida, and that's from Go Green Banners who helped us make that. And it's really, yeah, like Teresa mentioned, it's, the aluminum frame that's lightweight and it's like a fabric sleeve that goes over it. So it's printed on both sides. And I believe it's 100% recycled polyester, if I remember right.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
yeah, excited to see that banner again. Um, Last year I took a picture in front of it with Mary and I was pregnant at the time, so this time I'll have to get a picture with little baby Julie.
Yeah, exactly. All of our families will be there and it'll be exciting. So, yeah, I mean, there's many things, but I think that just kind of highlights um, some of the major things that we're doing to try to
Yeah.
eliminate or cut back on waste.
And we'll see if we can get the step and repeat out. That would be really cool too, because that's another upcycled thing that Race to Zero Waste did a couple of years ago.
Mm, yeah.
That would be
Yeah, and then
awesome.
our tablecloths, we use them every year. So,
Yes, exactly. All right, and I'm just sharing my screen to recognize at the end of our live here some of the folks that Teresa mentioned that we talked about. I do have to update this, so if like Wrinkle's logo is not on here yet. But these are our partners and sponsors that we are very excited to work with for the Zero Waste Forum this year. We're so appreciative of their support, the different levels of sponsors, including our promotional partners monetary sponsors, in-kind sponsors, and all the folks who just share that the Zero Waste Forum is happening. That's so helpful to us. So thank you to all of these lovely organizations. And if you would like to join this group of organizations who are supporting zero waste and the Zero Waste Forum, you can go to www.zerowasteforum.org and you will find sponsorship information. We hope you'll come join us.